Hello. Please forgive the sound quality of this. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. I barely have a phone signal, and I'm working from my phone. Hello. Bad headspace over the weekend. I felt like I needed to get away. So I'm literally in a cabin in the woods, and it's nice. I like it here. How is everyone? First things first, life update and writing update, I suppose. I rarely talk about this stuff because I know you guys aren't as interested in it, but we'll go for it. So, the fantasy novel is shaping up. I have a final draft of book 1. I think it just needs an editor, and that's what I'm currently advertising for. So, trying to find an editor who is good and affordable is terrifying. And we have a first draft, what I call a working draft of book 2. And book 3 exists in the form of notes and scraps of paper at the moment. But I have the ending, so that's good. I had the ending before I even had the start of the story. And it was meant to be one book, by the way. And it kept growing and growing and growing. And just to give an update to someone who is regularly in my comments, you know who you are. Lilith. Now, she'll know what this references to. The Book of Eve is complete. It's not been edited, but it is complete. So, that's in the works too, but I don't know when it's going to happen, but we have a final draft. We have a final copy, and I just, again, editor, but I want to see how things go with the Slave Prince first, my fantasy stuff, and hopefully it'll be fine. Life update, I suppose. It's interesting because I do find it funny when people think I make a lot of money from YouTube. I don't understand that. I've openly said that making money from YouTube for my channel it wouldn't even pay my gas bill. It wouldn't even touch it, what I make a month on YouTube. You can, unless you get very lucky, it's not. And I also want to say this. I do sponsorships, but I'm very selective over who I am sponsored with. And I don't really take money for sponsorships. I take products. Why not? You know, what's wrong with that? I think people are making an outright lie over me saying apparently I live very comfortably from YouTube. And I'm like, no, I really don't. Like, I have a day job. I'm not going to talk about my work on here because no one needs to know that other than me. But I have a day job. I make quite a good living from that. And YouTube is a nice hobby. But I don't know why people get so upset when it's like, this is my belief. I put a lot of work into YouTube. Making a few pennies from it, quite literally, I think is deserved. I think anyone... because it's often very thankless. You don't do much, and that's it. I only ever talk about things that I'm interested in, and also I'm going to clarify something that I tweeted because it gets really old, because obviously someone is misinterpreting these on purpose to satisfy their own ego, is that, yes, positive videos don't do as well on my channel, but they don't do as well as anyone's channel. I'm not talking about financial, I'm talking about viewership. Viewership and numbers of viewers versus how much you make on a video are two massively different things. You can have a video with a few hundred views and make something, and you can have a video with a few thousand and make nothing. So, I was talking in terms of actual numbers. I wish more people watched the more personal stuff. That's the thing, I wish people did. Because I know not many people are going to watch this video. I had a very different video planned, but bad headspace. I went to see The Return of the King, the extended edition on the big screen, which was amazing. I've never seen the extended editions on the big screen, ever. I've only ever seen the theatrical versions of The Lord of the Rings. And apparently, if you like the Peter Jackson movie, you're a white supremacist. That's a fun misnomer. But yeah, the whole thing is proving to be really fun. And I want to say this, it was an amazing experience. I want to see the extended editions, and it's nice seeing them again. And what's wrong with being excited about that? Like, for me, these came out when I was a teenager. So, again, I only ever saw the theatrical versions on the big screen. And that's going back a very, very long time. And I only ever think I saw them maybe once each on the big screen. I've seen other screenings since, but back in the day. But, I mean, seeing this in that clarity was amazing. And then me and friends decided to start drinking after we finished, and had a bit of a night. And I didn't get home until like 1 a.m. Which isn't too late, but that's not good. It's especially not good when you're nursing a sinus infection that won't seem to go away. But there we go. Now, back to writing. Book covers. Book covers. I am doing... my background, believe it or not, is art and design. I've never used this for any actual real job. But I say this, it's been fun to do. And I'm designing book covers slowly. I'm looking at what other book covers are in fantasy and all of this stuff, and just remembering what's like trends and researching and so on. It's great fun. And I do everything in Photoshop, and then I take it into Canva because of the templates. Canva is amazing. It's a free-to-use website. There is a pro version, which I've never needed, but if I had to pay for it, I would. Because the templates are there, you can match everything up and make sure it's sized right. And it's far quicker, create what you need to create, and then on Photoshop, and then just put it all together in Canva. It's amazing. I do my thumbnails in there just because it's so much easier, in my background videos. I have to admit, I like being in the middle of nowhere for writing. I like sitting here and just watching the world go by. Like, where I am, you may hear some horses. You may hear the nothingness. You may hear some foxes or animals, birdsong. There's no television here either, which is nice. The only access I have to the internet is my phone, and it will only work in one spot in the entire building, which is on a coffee table. It's very small, by the way. When I say entire building, it's a really small cabin. It's owned partly by me, and the land around it is owned partly by me, so I can spend a lot of time here. We found it in the woods, and I literally was like, do we pull it down or do we not? And then it kind of sat there empty for about 6 months, and we decided to start rebuilding it. So I put together my own skills in that and just started rebuilding it. It has electric via solar panel, so it's not on the grid, and it has some running water, but it's purified and filtered, basically, from the outside, so it's not on mains water. But it's a really nice place just to sit and be quiet and away from the world and the noise of the background. And I do a lot of writing here. Like, I really do. I like the outdoors. I like nature. I like hiking. I like hunting. I fish. I ride horses. I spend a lot of time outside. I love camping. And I enjoy it. And I think it's very nice to switch off from the internet, from life, from everything, and just shut the door on the world. I would quite happily live here. I couldn't, but I would. If I could, I would. But I do love it here, and it's a nice place. I'm going to be here for a few days, I think. It's not far from my actual house, but it's... I just love it here, and I wish I could share more from it, but I've had threats of doxing and stuff recently, which is disturbing, and that's fun. But yeah, I like shutting the door on the world every now and then. But I do a lot of here, especially if you see videos where I am not on camera. It's usually because it's just easier. So anyway, like, subscribe, tell me what you think in the comments, and I hope you guys have a really nice day. Genuinely.